gonna get the penta kill for Ricky.
Oh,
Holy
knocked out.
smokes,
We're gonna have
Zephyron clapping absolutely everyone in that fight. Coming through for Barlow, the man, the myth, the legend. FaZe here getting up this fight. We're down on the with nice ult. Hello, everybody, and welcome to some St. Clair Saints League of Legends. It's your boy, John Billbangs Udima, joined by Josh Funny Pafundi. It's been a while. I took a short break, but we're back, and we're back with week 2 of cLoL. Both these teams 1-0 right now.
Yeah, both these teams. I mean, yeah, we saw last week St. Clair, very strong showing. Heartland also 1-0. It should be a pretty close game today. Although we believe St. Clair is projected to win this one, take it over.
They are favored in this one against Heartland, and we are going to have a sub at ADC as well. Verge coming in for Barlow. An interesting change. We've seen a couple of swaps, obviously, this season in the winter semester. We do have the support role swapping with the jungle phase coming in. So we've seen a couple of changes, but Barlow has been one person that we haven't really seen swapped out. So it should be interesting to see how Verge and FaZe work together.
Yeah, I kind of want to see if Verge has like a different champ pool than Barlow, because I think that'll also open it up for FaZe to play some different supports. Because we have seen FaZe just playing a lot of the Lux, and we saw the Karma yesterday. Like a lot of these Enchanter supports, I would like to see some engaged supports maybe, although they aren't really the strongest right now. It's just where it is.
Yeah, Enchanters are definitely the king of bot lane right now, and with Unleashed Teleport, you don't really get any kind of pressure from other lanes, so you kind of just have a free lane, and it really helps out those Enchanter supports, not really feeling any kind of threat. But what are you expecting team comp-wise going into this one for St. Clair?
Team comp-wise? Honestly, St. Clair's been throwing me for a loop, right? Because we know that, like, top lane, we're probably going to see a bruiser pick. Like, we talk about this every week, right? But, I mean, bot lane, I don't know Verge's champ pool. This is his debut game, right? So, like I said, yeah, I'd like to see if he plays maybe some different picks than Barlow. We know Barlow likes the Caitlyn and the Jinx. But Fresh as well. Fresh has been wild with his picks. I mean, we've seen Rengar, we've seen Zin's out. Yesterday we saw Trundle and Lee Sin. Obviously that was preseason. He could have just been trying stuff out, but his Lee Sin was pretty clean. There were some
I did watch some
highlight plays there, so I'm
good.
excited to see this. But yeah, and then Zephyron, of course, probably on the scaling mid laner as well. I mean, the Azir yesterday, like.
Yeah,
crazy plays.
And I feel like a lot of times early on, a lot of teams kind of default to safer setups, you know, going for like a scaling comp rather than trying to force something. I mean, later on in the season when you've been playing a lot together and you know each other well, that's when you can start thinking about like, want to throw an assassin in here? Do you want to go for something more like a peel comp rather than a dive comp? But I mean, it'll be interesting to see what we have, because it is a different lineup with Virgin here, and it is going to change the way that these teams play. And I mean, I'm looking forward to this. Both teams are undefeated right now, so both of them trying to hold on to that slight lead they have in the standings.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, once again, I just want to get back to Fresh. Like, I'd like to see some new picks here in the jungle, because, I mean, yesterday the Trundle, it didn't really work out in his favor. But the Lee Sin was he definitely showed like his prowess on the Lee Sin. So I definitely would maybe like to see that pick come out again. Or some more aggressive, some more like high damage burst junglers.
And it's interesting to see, too, because, like, when we saw Fresh in the support role in this fall semester, he really liked the Enchanter support. You saw him play Lulu, saw him play Yuumi a couple of times, too. So I was expecting when he moved to the jungle role to have more of, like, a supportive kind of a role. But, I mean, his Lee Sin looked really good. He's playing Trundle. He's not playing these supportive junglers. So I do like the change-up, and it means he can play in a variety of styles, which I think is really going to help out St. Clair further on in the season.
Yeah, another thing today, I would like to see both teams try to put more emphasis on mid lane, right? I feel like mid lane is so stale right now in the meta game. It really is what it is.
It's control mage meta.
Yeah, exactly. So. But, I mean, I feel like when you can get these characters ahead, though, like, sometimes it can be more worth it than, like, putting your attention bot, right? So that's another thing I would like to see today, because we haven't really seen that. Like, mid lane, it's basically 0-0-0 all around until both players are at, like, 200 CS, and then...
Yeah, I think the thing too is with bot lane right now is that like there is only really a couple of good ADC picks, like Jinx, Jinx, Caitlyn, and Jhin are really like the
Yeah,
only
Jin's very
strong,
strong
and maybe
too.
Ezreal you could throw in there as well, are the only
Yeah.
strong bot laners. So like realistically, you know what you're getting in bot lane. At least mid lane has a little bit more of options. Like you can go control mage, but there's also a lot of the roaming stuff. Like you can even go rise, something like that. So there's a couple more options in mid that you might want to explore. But because right now bot lane is really stale. Again, top lane is you don't really you're either going scaling or you're going, I guess if you're Ricky, you're going whatever you want. But
Yeah.
like a lot of times,
Pick it
it's
not
either
for that good.
scaling or just like a mega tank are the only viable top lane picks right now.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, yeah, but the thing is, we don't see Ricky on those mega tanks, so like,
Yeah.
I don't really expect that from St. Clair today. Heartland, on the other hand, they may pick that. They may pick an
don't know.
Ornn. They may pick like I've seen Gragas too,
Yeah,
a little
Greg is
bit.
top.
So I don't know. Like these big tanks, these high CC tanks are also very good in the top lane.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't be surprised to see that from Heartland to kind of round out their comp if they need it.
Yeah, it's I mean, it's the fact that the Gauntlet hasn't really been touched. The Frostfire Gauntlet and
Yeah.
Fimbulwinter have both kind of been left as they are. And for top laners that are tanks, it's just so strong. Like unless you're playing, like eventually, if you're playing a scaling top laner like a Gwen, like a Camille, you will
Yeah.
eventually be able to damage them. But basically, early levels like 1 through 11, you're just not going to be able to do anything against them. So we are going to be getting into pick and ban phase here in just a moment. Should be an exciting one. St. Clair, second game of the season against Heartland. Both these teams looking to keep their winning streak alive.
Yeah, for sure. Also, if you didn't see it yesterday, our new draft overlay.
It looks really pretty.
It's
I
fantastic.
like this.
I love it. And the
Ooh,
Yone ban coming
interesting.
out. So.
And I'm kind of surprised by that. It's not something I expect, but again, it is kind of probably one of Heartland's one tricks. And
Yeah.
I mean, Zephyr plays a mean Yone. We've seen him play
does
a
indeed.
mean Yone, so I'm kind of surprised
Yeah.
by that ban. But again, it is a lot of times in collegiate, you are kind of want to ban out people's comfort picks, and we'll see like a lot of times teams will pay respects to how good the other someone else is on this one champion. So St. Clair might be doing that. We are going to see a Senna ban too.
Yeah, Senna, I mean, super strong right now, right?
Senna
The
Tom
Q-
Kench in the bot lane right now
the
is
fasting Senna is very good, but also
Ah.
just like Senna support. I mean, like the utility that comes now that she has her slows back. I mean, it's really good, right? The glacial augment change, they kind of like reverted it and just made the slow part of her kit, which is pretty nice. Karma ban as well. I mean, we saw the Karma yesterday. We saw it in mid. We saw it in bot lane.
Yeah.
Very strong pick. Like so much utility for the team.
Yeah, it reminds me of a couple seasons ago when you could just pick Karma and you could go mid, you could go
Top,
you
tank
could go
top,
support,
like-
you go wherever you want with the champion, and it works out. And Kaisa's gonna be the next ban there. So a couple of interesting bans from St. Clair. Not exactly the most meta bans, whereas I think Heartland's just going straight for hard meta champions right now.
Yeah, honestly, yeah, I don't think we've seen St. Clair like pick a Senna ever really. So it is an interesting ban, but yeah, I think they are just trying to get rid of the meta. Then we're gonna see the Xin Zhao ban come out. I mean, this is one we saw fresh on, but Xin Zhao really strong right now in the jungle. I mean, we see him all the time in LEC, LPL. So
We are going to see the Corki as the third ban for Heartland. Again, Corki with that new Ludens into Hydra build just does so much damage with those ultimates. Just flies them out every 2 seconds and it just nukes your backline. So definitely a good ban there. We are going to see the first pick Caitlyn. Not too surprising. If you've been watching any professional league, you know this is the first pick or first ban across basically every single game. So because you don't have that teleport availability, you can take Caitlyn. And we are going to see the Lux taken.
Heartland takes the Lux.
So it's a good choice there because realistically, Caitlyn Lux is the strongest bot lane right now.
Like too strong, and we see it every time it gets picked, right? Like players are dying under tower. We're seeing bot lane like just constantly die, regardless of which team picks it. It's just super strong right now.
And we are going to see the Syndra picked up here. So interesting, a really, really early mid lane pick here for the side of Heartland and St. Clair. We'll get to answer with 2 picks of their own. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised to see maybe a Morgana here. But
Nautilus. See, this is what I was talking about. Like, I'd like to see some more of these engaged supports because we are seeing some of St. Clair's comps. Like, a lot of times they're lacking on the CC.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like they go for a lot of the high damage, like high, and then Ricky, of course, going for the high healing champs.
Wow, that's bruisers.
Yeah, exactly.
You're going to see the Viego and a good
Viego's
champion.
come out as
I think, have we seen Fresh
I don't think we've seen Fresh on Viego. Ehug obviously played Viego a lot last semester, but yeah, I don't think we have seen Fresh on the Viego. But very good to round out poke comps for sure.
He's very strong. It's weird because like you look at the win rates, you look at the tier list, and Viego is pretty far down on there, but he actually gets played
ADC?
quite a bit. Lux mid. Oh.
That's maybe
Oh,
it could be Syndra ADC. Like we could be seeing a
that's
Syndra
true,
carry.
yeah. Because I think that's one thing that can kind of counter a lot of what Caitlyn wants to do, because you have pretty early access to your pushback with your E and long range farming. So it's actually not a bad idea here. I do like the idea, and Trundle is going to be the 4th ban here from St. Clair.
Yeah. Where the Syndra is also going to give them the disengage on that Nautilus.
Oh,
too,
yeah, for
which
sure.
will help. And then Victor ban going to come through. I mean, Sephiroth's been playing the Victor, right? Super strong pick. Yeah. Another one of those super scaly mid laners. And a Kali ban coming out too.
Ooh,
Kali's been a crazy one this season.
Yeah,
I mean,
and
this tank,
I mean, like... It did get nerfed 12.2.
Yeah.
They did nerf the turbo chem tank, so that build was just completely taken. They literally put a dev post that said, "We don't want this happening.
Yeah,
We're gonna nerf it in the next
this
patch."
Is dumb, like.
So not too surprising there. Mundo is going to be the final ban here for St. Clair, and Amumu is going to be picked up. So that's a lot of team fight AoE CC.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, you're seeing the Amumu ult, the Leona ult there, and then of course the Syndra and the Lux are always going to be in there. Sylas coming out too, so probably Sephiroth, I'm assuming, but this is a pick we have not seen. I don't think we've ever seen Sephiroth play this.
We did. Actually, he played it early on in fall semester.
I see.
He was not the greatest at it. He definitely had a lot of struggles, especially in laning phase. Ricky's Jack somehow got through here. I mean, I like the comp from St. Clair. I think it's definitely not something super straightforward. I think you can find your opportunities with picks, but it isn't an easy comp to play nonetheless. I think for Heartland right now, they're going to round it out with the set. I mean, Heartland is a really, really easy team fight comp to figure out. Sure. Like you got your set going to engage, or your Mumu going to engage, or Leona engage, or even a Syndra engage with her stun. Like you have so many tools. You just walk in, AoE CC the entire team, and then that's just how you curb stomp. I think the one thing they are going to really struggle with is going to be later on in the game trying to stop the split push from the Sylas and from the Jax.
Yeah, for sure. But I do like their idea. I mean, they've got the Syndra, they've got the Lux. It's going to be easy, like, once that CC comes down, to pick off Verge, actually, on the Caitlyn.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think that definitely is, like, a good option for them. And I'm actually wondering whether or not the Syndra or the Lux is going to go mid. But we will see just in a moment when we get into game.
Yeah, and typically you see the set top into something like a tank where you can just take that hard engage and throw him back into the team. But the problem I see with this set pick is that you don't really have a lot of super tanky members. Like, yes, the Nautilus will get kind of tanky, but he's a support, so he's not going to be able to get a ton of stats. And I mean, for Sylas and Jax, you're just going to eventually be able to win that side lane, and in a team fight, not going to be as useful. But if they can just start split pushing, I feel like the set is just not going to be able to fight them at all.
Yeah, I feel like with the split pushing, they may be able to just out macro Heartland in this game and just take those towers. But then again, with that being said, that's also going to bring up objective bounties should they get a lead, which Heartland getting a lot of gold, say they get the Syndra very fed, the Lux very fed, it is definitely going to be scary.
For sure. I mean, I'm interested to see how this bot lane is going to work, because it is Verge phase, something we haven't seen at all. And here we are, going to get onto the Rift here. Game number 1 of week 2, cLoL St. Clair versus Heartland.
We're seeing four St. Clair players just grouping up here near the river.
Yeah, I think they were spotted out there by the Amumu in mid. So it looks like they want to try for an engage. I mean, you have Nautilus, right? So the level 1 possibility is always there, but they are going to back off and just pay their respects and move towards regular starting positions.
Yeah, not much to be said about this first minute. I mean, yeah, we saw yesterday what happens when an invade goes wrong.
Yeah, that was as a viewer, I felt bad after watching that one. That was a stinker. But looks like everyone's going to start standard here, and I expect the junglers to most likely just farm until they hit 3. Maybe look for a gank top, but I'm expecting junglers mostly to play passive in this early game until the Amumu gets to that level 5 when he has those bandage tosses up very often. I think that's when he'll start looking for more ganks, but until then, just going to play pretty standard here.
Yeah, we saw Ricky go for a little bit of a level 1 trade there, get a little bit damage in that tri-bush. But we are actually seeing AVXY is the Lux ADC.
Interesting.
So it is going to be a Lux Leona bot lane. A lot of CC down there in the bot lane.
The thing is in this bot lane, right? Like if Caitlyn, good trade there by Ricky actually. Sand gonna come back here, gonna pop the E, but not really gonna do a lot. And already some good damage here by Ricky. Hook gonna come through onto this Lux, gonna be stunned up here. Glacial gonna be popped.
Not much they can do. Both teams going to move out, but a nice Q from Verge is going to take ABXY very low as Zephyrock goes in for some aggressive trades with that level advantage.
Already good trades across the map for St. Clair in all 3 lanes. And, I mean, for me, I definitely think this bot lane is going to have to be very careful because if you take one misstep, I mean, for either side, really, because Leona Lux has insane burst pressure. Like, if this Caitlyn gets caught, once those ultimates are available, like you are just going to be CC'd for infinity and you might just get bursted 100-0. Especially after Leona most likely will get the Evan Shroud. Looks like we're in an early gank in mid.
Early gank. Zephyrock going to go in. He hits the stun and the W. Zephyrock is going to pick up the first blood as Fresh turns into a Mumu, and he is going to pick up the Raptors as well. Ricky once again, I mean, we always see these aggressive trades in top lane, right?
Yeah, and looks like Ricky just going to back off here. But, I mean, for me, I definitely think going for that gank at level 3, it was a good try, but I don't think he anticipated Fresh to be over there that quickly. He did actually clear an extra camp, or he did clear the same camp and just went for the initial gank in mid, or the counter gank, I guess. Ricky and Sandy might fight here in top.
Stun going to come out, but both players are going to back away. Zephyrock here, though, low. Got to crash this wave in before he can get a back off. He's going to be taking a lot of poke damage here just from these autos as Ricky is going to go in. Oh, another engagement bot lane. Amumu comes down, but FaZe is going to hit the hook onto the Leona. Leona dangerously low as a double root comes in from ABXY. And that is going to be a unsuccessful gank.
That's the problem with drafting the Lux in the bot lane, right? Is that realistically your cooldowns are so long early game. If you're not landing every single one, if you're not able to CC chain perfectly between the Leona and the Amumu, you're just never really going to have a clear advantage, and they might go for a dive.
Yeah, looking for a dive. I mean, it is good. Sandy Lover or Senate Lover does not have much grit stacked up. They may have been able to go for the dive there, but the minions are going to get cleared out in time.
Yeah, he also had Flash available, and I mean, Sett is one of the hardest champions in the game to tower gank, or to gank, just because he has so much shielding with that W, and he's able to just block so much of what you want to do. So they all out to not go for the dive, and I mean, realistically, right now, trades are just all going in Ricky's favor. He did actually burn TP to go back to top lane.
And he is going to go for a quick engagement here. Stun is going to land as well. He's going to dodge the W. Sanded Lover just forced to back off and going to have to get the back off.
Yeah, and the problem is going to be now, there's a freeze going on in top lane with Ricky, right? So right now, he has to TP back and try and shove this wave. But Viego, you see his pathing from the base, is going to start to go towards top lane. And he's going to know, like, Sett has to force this wave out into the... Oh, actually, it's coming towards him. So they might actually elect for a dive here because Santi won't be that close to level 6.
Yeah. It looks like Fresh is just going to be clearing his topside jungle as Zephyrock once again going for these aggressive trades on the Syndra after the E comes out. Going to stun Zephyrock. Q going to land on him as well, but it seems like both players are just going to disengage.
They have to be careful here. And Zephyrock, ooh, he's going to land the E.
Yeah, and the Q just barely misses the intersection, but a lot of damage coming down to Levi as Ricky hits a stun under the tower. He's going to make it out. Oh, that's big damage. But here in the bot lane, we're seeing FaZe go for a little bit of a trade with the Leona there. I mean, he can just do that with his shield, so he might as well. I mean, we're seeing the CS gap too. Ricky, just barely lives. Flash W from Sanded Lover.
He's staying here. I mean, there's no flash on Sett, but he's got to be careful here. Looks like he is going to come through.
Follow your dream. Going to go in on FaZe, but there's just too much armor on this guy. Too much MR. No damage is going to be taken. Verge going for the long-range poke, and the flash is going to come out from the Leona. So that is both summoners down on the Leona, although she does have the Hex Flash available. Fresh also going to come in. Flash W there, and the kill is going to come in for Verge. That is 1-0. 20 CS up, but Zephyrock at the same time going to be taken down mid from Levi.
And this is the problem we talked about earlier on when he picked the Sylas, right? Is that there was so many times where he would go for these really aggressive trades in the early game. And when you played Sylas fall 2021, even like summer 2021, he was super strong, and you could take those trades because he had enough mana regeneration and HP regeneration from his W that those trades would go in your favor. But he got nerfed several times since then, and he just hasn't really been in the same state. So when you go for those aggressive trades, usually you can't actually trade that HP back. So you see there, he got a little bit greedy with his trades, didn't respect what the Syndra could do, and you know, she popped the ult, landed a good Q, and that was just a solo kill in the mid lane. And now she's up 10 CS as well.
Yeah, the thing is, I feel like we're seeing Zephyros. He's going in, he's doing his trade, he burns all his stuff, and then the Syndra just waits there, right? She's got that E up, she can get basically a guaranteed stun, followed up into a ball spawn on him. That's going to take even more damage, and then like he basically just loses those trades in that.
I think he has to pick up an ult here from the Leona, from the Amumu, maybe even from the Set who engage here.
Polio caught out by FaZe, but
that's a free flash. That's huge.
Flash.
Like the fact that you're able, Sephiroth. So these are watching Sephiroth early when he played this champion, he did a lot of times where he'd go for these E's that I don't know what it is about. I don't know if you played Silas, but Silas, you just go for these E's that you don't actually want to take. It's just fun to kind of throw them out.
But then when you accidentally hit him,
then you're like, wait a second, I didn't actually want to go in on this. It was a prank. I just want to throw my E at you.
Oh, it happens to me in the ARAMs.
Yeah, so that's the thing about Silas, and I feel like it's kind of like Lee syndrome in a way, right?
Yeah.
So I think definitely something that Sephiroth has been known for. So I just want to see him not play as aggressive here. Wait for his jungler setup. Now that level 6 is on fresh, there's definitely good gank potential here. Levi with some good trades.
That is going to be all she wrote, it looks like. As Levi actually getting very low in the mid lane, but Ricky and Sandit Lover, just more trades up here. Ricky, like, always in front of this tower, right? Because the set... They are trading fairly evenly, but it seems like Ricky is just always slightly coming out on top, even with that set W shield.
I do want to draw your attention to the bot lane CS right now. 68 for Verge, 34 for ABXY, and it's... I mean, it is the thing of playing Lux, Leona bot. You have to wait till 6 because that's when you're actually strong. But until then, there's too much threat of engage from the Nautilus, and your cooldowns on your spells are just not fast enough. Unless you're really, really good at farming with your autos on Lux, which is quite a skill on any mid mage.
Yeah,
it's just going to be a real struggle of a lane. And you see this Caitlyn already on a pickaxe and double longsword. Just 2 amp tomes for the Lux.
Yeah, Fresh also going to pick up Heartland's red buff, as he may be looking for a dive here. Maybe setting up for it, but he is just going to opt for the Krugs.
I'd be surprised if they go for this.
Yeah, honestly. Oh, Ricky going to get ulted into tower, but Fresh is there for the support. W going to come out, helping him disengage. Ricky, is he going to go back in here? Oh, wait.
No, he does have ults. Looks like Senti might want to go back in, but right now you see him move pathing down towards the bot lane. They're going to look towards this dragon, but right now, like I said, this Caitlyn just so far ahead of the Lux. Oh, the Q lands!
It's the R is going to come out from Nautilus. That should be death, and that is going to be Verge picking up his 2nd kill of the game.
There's a 3-man journey coming to the bot lane.
And they save it. Cleanse is going to come out immediately on the Leona R. Flash is going to come out. The Amumu R hits Verge, but it is just going to be FaZe that is going to go down. Sephiroth hitting a nice long E. The Amumu R going to come out as well. Sephiroth picks up his 2nd kill.
And that's really good because they can go towards this dragon now. They can path towards it. Amumu's going to be dead for the next 10 seconds. Try and take this before he spawns. But, I mean, really good play there. A little bit late, Sephiroth was on that TP, but Flash for the E managed to land it. And, I mean, when you pick up a Amumu ult, it's just game-changing. So he does get that pick back. They end up trading it. But, I mean, 2-0 Syndra now with a 10 CS lead. That is going to get scarier and scarier as this game goes on. Yeah,
we do see Sephiroth opt for the magic resist as well, so it looks like he is going to, like, he's still going to be playing for these long trades. As Sandflower forced to flash away, and Ricky going to follow him with his own flash and pick up the kill with the empowered auto.
Yeah, as soon as he jumped behind that W, there was just no chance for him to get out.
Yeah.
He tried to flash, but really good job by Ricky. Obviously, we know how good his Jax is, just knowing his damage on that champion. And I think they didn't spot out Amumu, but they're going to go for this anyway. Looking for the first drag of the game, and we're 11 minutes in, so this is a pretty late first drag.
Yeah, actually, I feel like we usually see it around 7-8 minutes here in Collegiate. But the TP is going to come out from Sandflower. Try and just push Ricky off of these plates as Marco Polio and Follow Your Dream are going to come in. So much stun on this team. Like, what can Ricky do? The ult is going to come out from Set. There's just nothing he can do. I mean, like, his death screen probably says like 6.5 seconds of CC.
Yeah, when you got that many people jumping on top, you just have really nowhere to go. He had no flash, so no way out for him. That does mean they are going to get a free turret in bot lane, though. AVXY going to try and clear it out, but Herald is here with Fresh. So,
That is going to be a big gold
it was a good roam, but in the end, I mean, really, it's just 300 gold for the side of Heartland. I mean, on the Amumu, which isn't really going to be that amazing. And then Caitlyn and Nautilus going to get even further ahead in this bot lane. They're going to pick up Turret, and I mean, right now, this bot lane is just crumbling. You can see already a 3k gold lead opened up for St. Clair here.
Yeah, the thing is, Ricky didn't really lose too much for that, right?
No.
He had the TP up. He's going to TP right back. He catches all of the CS that he would have missed. And the kill went to the Amumu, so it's like, yeah, he's going to be a little tankier late game, but that's not really where you want your gold to be right now.
Definitely not. You want that on your Syndra as fast as possible. And looks like they will be moving over towards this mid lane here. Ricky just going to continue shoving that top lane out. And I mean, it's funny because normally you'd expect, see the Jax, despite the fact that he's dying, is if a K ahead now, almost 1,000 gold ahead of this top laner. He is going to land here.
He's going to land. Levi perfectly able to disengage, and Zephyros just going to burn the Syndra.
Yeah, definitely not the optimal ult on Zephyros there. Can't build up those orbs, so he isn't going to do a ton of damage with it. But does zone the Syndra out here, and Diego might look for a gank over the wall.
Three more players from Heartland's side are going to be stacking up near this river bush down on the bot side, but it looks like they're just going to move away as FaZe had spotted them out.
I definitely think FaZe saved his own life by warding that bush.
Yeah, for sure.
Maybe save Zephyros too. But here we are, 13 minutes into the game. Turret plate's about to go down here in just a couple of seconds. And right now, St. Clair with a significant gold lead, despite only being up 2 kills. And I mean, you have an Ocean Drag as well. Pretty good start for them. FaZe going to chase out a Moo here. This might be a kill.
Yeah, there is the Leona and the Lux behind here, but I mean, the Lux is so behind in gold, she doesn't really provide too much help other than the root, really. And that is... Oh, the Blasco going to come out to make him dodge the Lux ult, but Zephyros is going to go down to the Syndra. Ricky here to help with the cleanup, and Follow Your Dream's going to be forced to flash out. Oh, big Lux Q, and Fresh is going to fall to the Syndra. And can Ricky do anything?
Oh, triple stun.
Triple stun. Marco Polio going down. Ricky, can he find ABXY? No, he cannot. FaZe is going to make it away with his life, but that was a 3-for-1.
Yeah,
in favor of Heartland.
More importantly, the triple kill goes on to this Syndra, and this Syndra now gonna be backing, gonna get a lot of items here, gonna be able to stack up pretty well. And coming up to this next Drake in 2 minutes, she's gonna be, I mean, the #1 target for St. Clair. And it was a good try for that fight, but really, again, it was one of those times where Zephyros goes in, doesn't realize he's not able to survive the fight, especially with so much CC that is available, and they just try and salvage it. And yes, they do get a trade kill, but it's 3 kills over to the Syndra. Now she has the crown built as well as the boots. She's going to be dishing out so much damage in these fights, and not even an item here for the Sylas.
Yeah, I mean, this Syndra is just going to be a monster. Not to mention she's stacking the tier, so the Seraph should be coming in after. I mean, like, the damage that's going to come out is just going to be insane.
The one thing that I am kind of concerned about for Heartland is the fact that because the set is going tank, you don't have any AD damage, right? Like, you have the Lux who's going to be providing AP. Obviously, the Syndra super heavy on the AP, but there's not really any AD damage. And, I mean, you're going to get to a point in the game where you're going to have to fight against this Jax split pushing. Unless you burst him down 100-0, I mean, he's going to get a Wit's End. It's going to be really, really hard to deal with him.
Yeah, the Wit's End is going to come in. I mean, we could see Verge, come in with, like, say, a Maw or something like that, a Hex Drinker early as well, as Ricky and FaZe are going to engage in the bot here. Sanded Lover gets hit by that R, and Marco Polio, he's super low. Second, all Ricky out, Marco Polio going to pick up the kill as Zephyros.
Oh,
Zephyros takes down ABXY before the ultimate can come off, and Verge, he's going to be chasing down Levi here. This could be big. That is going to be a double kill for Zephyros. Fresh, though, stuck in this 1v3 situation. His team cannot bail him out. Sandate Lover, he's trying his hardest, but there's too much CC from the Nautilus. Nautilus going to chase down Marco Polio. Possibly. Nah, he's going to make it out with that bandage dash.
Looks like, no, Caitlyn's going to actually eat the wall behind him. Zephyros going to go in here mid. Oh, the E's going to catch. He lives again. W coming through. Can't get the auto through. Marco going to come back in. All going to be used. Cleanse Flash. Misses the Q. Marco going to live, but there's no way. Oh, he hits it. Does he live? No.
It's Zephyros here with the double buffs. Verge is going to pick up the blue buff as well. It's just that was a great fight for St.
It was a
Clair,
really
honestly.
good fight, and it was one of those times where finally the E-in from Zephrod actually pays off here. You see, he was gonna die to the burst, but I
hits
think
the
he
E in. I
he
think he
flashed
flashed
E'd.
W'd, I feel. I feel like
Oh
he got too
yeah,
much healing off of that.
he might have flashed W E'd at the same time, but does pick up the
Yeah.
double fresh. Lives for as long as he can, but in the meanwhile, Amumu actually. Oh no, Amumu just died. But regardless, a really good fight there for St. Clair. Verge able to pick up a couple kills for himself on this Caitlyn as well, get himself even further ahead. And I mean, right now you can see just such a stark difference in this bot lane.
Ricky gonna go in on ABXY, forces the flash out. Does that even help him? Not too much. Ricky gonna force ABXY to back, probably pick up some damage on this tower, although 3 Heartland members are near the top side, but no damage really.
Yeah, it is going to be a Cloud Soul here, so a little bit of extra movement in the jungle and some ultimate cooldown available for one of these teams. And I mean, right now, St. Clair 5k up, pretty comfortable position here in the game. They've taken all the outer turrets here. They're shoving up waves. They have control of a lot of the jungle here. I mean, for me, I definitely need to see a lot more cohesion in these team fights out of Heartland. It feels like they're kind of just walking in and 2 or 3 of them are doing their own thing. They're not really bringing enough team fights you see into it. And the St. Clair playing it out pretty well, right? Because if you're St. Clair, you can't be grouped up as 5 because that is where Heartland is going to be their strongest. That is where they're going to be able to really take advantage of these crazy AoE team fight ults. So you have to try and play these split fights where you have the Silas coming in on the back line, you have the Viego just trying to hit the front line, you have the Jack split pushing or coming in with the TP flank. You kind of got to make these fights a lot more separate because if you go for that straight 5v5, you're probably not going to win.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, we're seeing on the St. Clair side, like we talked about with that 4 AP and then the tank in the top lane, we're seeing all 4 carries minus phase. They're all going Merc Treads, right? Because they need that tenacity, but also that magic resist is just going to help so much as well.
Yeah, we already see the Jacks itemizing towards that Wit's End. Not too surprising about that one. We are going to have a 5-man push in mid here. An objective bounty is on the table already, so they could pick up a little bit of extra gold here if they take this turret.
Yeah, Ricky is rotating up from the bot side, but they may be able to get the turret just before. Faye's going to hit a nice hook and a nice R, pop the crown of the Shattered Queen on Levi, and they are not able to pick up that objective bounty.
Silas coming in from the side, though.
Huge Everfrost as the R is going to come in. ABXY just barely lives, but Silas going to clean him up as Fresh is picking up a kill on the Amumu. So much damage here. Can Follow Your Dreams make it out? No, Fresh is going to burn the R to find him. Sanded Lover goes down as well. Fresh, can he find him? The R reset once again. Going down on the Syndra. Beautiful fight.
Really, really good flank there by Zephrot. Able to find the Lux on the side there. Able to burst her out instantly. And after that, it was just a pretty cleanly one-team fight. And again, it was St. Clair playing it well because they spaced themselves out. They didn't all in, especially when, you know, the Nautilus ulted in, he queued in and went all in. They burned a lot of sums there. So Zephyron took the opportunity to go for a flank, was able to find it, and they are going to go right onto the Baron.
20-minute Baron here. Zephyron dangerously low, so possibly we could see ABXY throw an ult in here, but I don't even think they know they're going for the Baron.
No, it doesn't look like they're going to go towards it. Zephyron can be able to limp away there with just a little bit of HP, and I think it's just going to be a free Baron. They do have to give it. At this point, you are down 10k gold, so you could go for a steal, but realistically, most likely, if you go for a steal, they're going to end up picking up. And here we are. So you see this fight here. So ABXY gets burst out almost instantly, and Zephyron, again, hitting that E, and a nice Lux ult by him. Actually gets 2 members there. Chunks out the Syndra quite well. A nice root lands as well. So, I mean, a lot of work actually done there by Fresh changing it.
Deep.
It's funny because it was a lot of work done by Fresh playing the Lux and landing a good root, and then Silas using the Lux ult to damage to half health to people. So it's like you're getting beat up by your own team there.
Literally,
Feels bad.
They have the 2 champions in the game that can use the other team's stuff.
When you're getting beat up by your own bot laner, that's a feels bad man right there.
That is a feels bad man. We're seeing 500 gold bounties across the mid and ADC on St. Clair's side. 300 gold bounty on Viego.
See, look at that gold difference in the ADC. That is just absurd. Almost a 4k gold difference there. And When they drafted this, I think Syndra would have been a lot better in the bot lane. I don't know, maybe the
Yeah.
ABXY is not comfortable playing that Syndra. They just really wanted to take the Lux away,
The
and this
phase
looks like the
going in.
set might be caught out here.
He can. The W is going to come out. Massive stun from the Amumu. It's going to let them pick up phase, but Fresh is in there deep. He's going to pick up Marco Polio. Zephyr also in there deep. Levi going to go down, and that is going to be a ace. Only losing Fez on the St. Clair side.
Yeah, at this point, you're up, almost 15k gold. You're just kind of slapping with your wallets, and that was the ideal team fight that you were looking for if you're Heartland. That's why they were able to get a pick there. But realistically, you're just down so many items, so much gold. You got to go back to the drawing board, and at this point, you're just looking at game 2 and trying to figure out where you went wrong and how to fix it.
Yeah, the game's over here. I mean, the Rift Herald, he's going to be dancing with
Shelly,
the
dancing Shelly, dancing Shelly, dancing Shelly. There it is. Cheering for the Saints all the way.
And that is going to be game 1. Like, just a stomp from St. Clair there.
Yeah, I think it all started in draft, right? Like, we saw the Syndra Lux. We're like, okay, Lux mid, Syndra bot. It's going to be fine. I mean, the Caitlyn, Nautilus, obviously going to have kill pressure in the lane. But,
yeah.
I mean, we started out level 1. We saw trade. The Nautilus went for a Q, massive trade onto the Lux, burn the Summoner. And then we saw mid lane, Ricky trading well with the set. And it's just like, it's hard to try and do anything in a game where every single lane is pushing forward constantly. And you had a little bit of prime mid. Syndra actually did pretty well, but realistically, you're just losing elsewhere across the map. And the gap in bot lane was just so big in the goal discrepancy. There's no way to really recover from it.
Yeah, and then we saw in the team fights there, I mean, with all of the mobility and like they had... While Heartland had a lot of engage potential, it seemed like St. Clair had the dive potential to get into that Syndra, and then once that Syndra is caught out, once the crown is burnt, like there's really just no damage. There's no damage, and then in the side lanes, you have nobody who can go contest, right? Yeah. Nobody can go contest Ricky at that point. Nobody can really contest Sephiroth either, other than Levi on the Syndra, right? Yeah. So that is going to be game 1 for St. Clair.
Really well played by them, and I mean, not really a lot of comments about that one. They just outdrafted them, and I think game 2, Heartland definitely looking to change up their thoughts. St. Clair looking to just roll into another 2-0 and go up 2-0 in the season. We'll be back in just a moment with some more collegiate League of Legends action.
Don't go anywhere.
Has this ever happened to you? You tune in to watch Saints Gaming compete at your favorite title, but you end up missing it. Scrolling through Twitter to find results is just such a chore, and it looks like there's no easy way to find out everything you've missed. Luckily, there's a solution. Hi, Millie Bays here, and I'd like to introduce you to St. Clair's Bird's Eye View, the #1 show to keep up with everything about Saints Gaming. Get weekly recaps, see great highlights, hear exclusive interviews with players and staff, and so much more. That's Bird's Eye View, available in podcast or video form at a website near you.